welcome to TWF Impact. Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Impact or Hit. I, Joey Styles, with Jonathan Coachman and with Aiden English. And today on Impact or Hit, first we're going to talk about what happened yesterday on Dynamite or Mike. Yesterday on Dynamite or Mike, we saw Drew McIntyre, go after and Claymore kick main wicker Ric Flair, the TWF down. After he had some talk with Drew McIntyre about how he had to yield to SummerSlam to either fight Asuka or Ricochet for the TWF heavyweight winnings. The overseer of leadership, Astronema, was there when that happened because they were both out on the top before that happened. Joey Styles says Drew McIntyre was sent out. He was stilled, I guess you would say seated, and I guess he may have lost his right to fight for the TWF heavyweight winnings come this SummerSlam. I would say so, Joey. I'd say Drew McIntyre did a lot, to besmirch everything that he had going for himself, and he most likely lost the match against either Asuka or Ricochet. And what will happen to Drew McIntyre is beyond me. Alright everyone, as everyone knows, Drew McIntyre Claymore kicked it down Ric Flair yesterday, and also the fight, and also the Stronghold Keeper yesterday on Dynamite Tonight. So no, we didn't have a match, but we had that saga that happened. So now, whoever wins between Asuka and Ricochet at Bash at the Beach, we don't know who Asuka or Ricochet will be fighting at SummerSlam. So now we're going to have to do that kind of match again. Now I know there are going to be some folks out there, who are going to think that we were, too hard on him, or someone out there, who thinks it should be them. So, someone else thinks they should be, in that stead. So we'll just have to see who that's going to be. Well, ladies and lords, my name is Paul Lee Dangerously, and I am the overseer. I'm the seer and the foreseer for Seth Rollins, who, yes, he's wearing a Shield shirt, but don't worry about that. And what can I do? Well, it's more like what we can do for you. Now, we know Ric Flair came up with this oversight months ago about how if Seth Rollins had anyone do anything in his match, then his match was thrown out. Then he would lose his right. That he would lose his right, fight for the TWF heavyweight winnings. However, keep in mind, Seth Rollins didn't have anything to do, he didn't have anything to do, with King Caesar, doing what he did. So, you think So you think that I should just wave the oversight off and give Seth Rollins another look, when, keep in mind, King Caesar was happening to be hanging out with Seth Rollins, and Paulie Dangerously, you were his overseer for a short time when he was with Seth Rollins. But here's what I will do. Hold it. Yeah, you let Astronema finish. You let Astronema end what she's going to say before you say anything, Ecliptor says. Alright. So, here's what we will do. You want to have another look, Seth Rollins? You want to be the one? Yes, I do. You want to be the one who was going to fight Asuka or Ricochet at SummerSlam next month after Bash at the Beach this month? Then all you got to do is beat whoever you fight here today on Impact or Hit, and you're in. The oversight's gone. However, I don't want to see anyone helping you. I don't want to see the big boss man or the big head man, which we all know he's downstairs in the tool room. We had to dig him out. I don't want to see Tool Godjor or someone else. I don't want to see no Braun Steiners and Bronson Reed stead holders. We don't even got Bronson Reed or, Braun Steiner, so I don't want to see that. I don't want to see any of that. Understand? Yeah, I get it, Paulie Dangerously says. And Seth Rollins would like to win wrestling matches by himself. He never did like it when he had other folks to help him win. Oh, is that so? Ecliptor says. Because when he was in the Shield, he didn't mind Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns helping him. And when he was in the leadership, he didn't mind having Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro do shit for him. Have Jamie Noble and Joe Mercury do shit for him. And when he had his Our Little Team going in 29 between the 2020 layout, when he had Austin Theory and Buddy Murphy and Razor and Akam with him, he didn't mind them helping him. So, cut the shit. No one's going to be helping you. That's right, Astronomer says. If it happens again, you can kiss your luck goodbye. Well, we just heard from Astronomer and Ecliptor. Seth Rollins has got one more luck, and hopefully he can handle yielding until SummerSlam to fight Asuka or Ricochet for the TWF heavyweight winnings, Joey Styles says. Well, I hope he does, Jonathan Coachman says, because we all know Drew McIntyre couldn't yield that long. Aiden English says, but who will? But tell me, who will be? Tell me, who's the one that Seth Rollins is going to be fighting against? Aiden English says, who would Astronomer have to put him in the ring with? That would even have, luck beating him. Oh no, it's Alberto Del Rio. Yes. You want to know who you're going to be fighting? Me, Seth Rollins. You're going to be fighting me. The former WWE LL AAA highest fighter, two-time WWE heavyweight fighter, two-time welterweight fighter, two-time WWE Ender Lamb, two-time WWE 4-1 ranks fighter. And I hope that I beat you, because if I do, then that will give me the right to fight either Asuka or Ricochet next month. Well, this seems to be, Paulie Dangerously over there. He can't stand up very well. Stand up! Well, there he is over there. Deaning. Well, did you ever think, Joey Styles said, you ever think that we would see, Seth Rollins and Alberto Del Rio go at it? No, I don't think so, to be earnest with you. I never really truly thought I would see either one of them go at it. Joey Styles said Alberto Del Rio would love his shot at the TWF heavyweight winnings. And if Ricochet wins, it will be against Ricochet. If Asuka keeps it, it'll be against Asuka. Now, Jonathan Coachman said, I can tell you one thing is Seth Rollins isn't going to have a smooth time out of it fighting against Alberto Del Rio, who's a former two-time WWE heavyweight fighter and world heavyweight fighter too. Oh! Right into the ring steeple. And now Seth Rollins picked him up and dropped him back first into the ring steeple too. And a closed stake. Joey Styles says. Well, guess what Aiden English says? Alberto Del Rio has lost whatever upper hand he once had on Seth Rollins. And don't get me wrong, Seth Rollins would want to end this match quick with Alberto Del Rio. Oh! And he did a curve stomp, Jonathan Coachman says. Will that be all to put Alberto Del Rio away? Well, it might not be enough, Aiden English says, because Seth Rollins is coming from the top steeple now, from the top rope. Oh, and down goes Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is down now. And both of them, this Alberto Del Rio, he came from Walmart back in 2010, I believe, or 2011, or something like that. And Seth Rollins, well, he was the last one to come from Big Lots. At least the Westminster Armour Big Lots before it was shut down. And now he's coming to the top rope now, taking down Seth Rollins. Aiden English says he's going to want to wrap up Seth Rollins. He's going to want to make him yield here today. He wants to be that man who will either wrestle Asuka or Ricochet next month at SummerSlam after their month at Back at the Beach. Aiden English says if Paulie Dangerously doesn't have something to say or do about it. Paulie Dangerously did something about it, Joey Styles says, and Alberto Del Rio struck him and knocked him down. He had no business being in the match, Jonathan Coachman says. Oh, a curve stomp from Seth Rollins on Alberto Del Rio, Jonathan Coachman says. That's right, a curve stomp to Alberto Del Rio, and down he goes, Joey Styles says. And English said, I told you Paulie Dangerously would play his slight in the match. He would help his man win. Aiden English said, here it is. Oh. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, alright. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Seth Rollins. Well, Seth Rollins has the right now, to fight Asuka if she beats Ricochet. Or Ricochet, if he beats Asuka at Bash at the Beach, he has the right to fight them at, SummerSlam, next month. Joey Styles says. And yes, no one else was in the match. Seth Rollins didn't have any new underlings or followers or whatever he has. That's true. We didn't see that happen. Joey Styles says, but sadly we saw Paulie Dangerously help Seth Rollins win. But I guess since he is Seth Rollins' overseer, I don't think that reckons, And I guess he didn't break the oversight, Joey Styles says. I don't know, Jonathan Coachman said, if he broke the oversight or not. That's up for Stronema, the overseer of leadership, to say. or the main wicker of the toy wrestling gathering, Ric Flair, to say when he comes back. Yeah, if he comes back, Aiden English says. But right now, Seth Rollins has his match with either Asuka or Ricochet at SummerSlam next month for the TWF heavyweight winnings, Aiden English says. And now we're going to take it away now to Bob Walk. Thank you, Joey Styles and Jonathan Coachman. I'm going to be talking with Seth Rollins and Paulie Dangerously here today on Impact or Hit. Well, Seth Rollins, you and Paulie Dangerously must be truly happy, since now, Seth Rollins, you have a shot for the TWF heavyweight winnings again. Yes, I do, Bob Walk. I am truly happy that I have my shot for the TWF heavyweight winnings. I'm sending out a warning to Asuka or to Ricochet, whoever is the TWF heavyweight fighter after Bash at the Beach will have to worry about me at SummerSlam. You know, because at the end of the day, I will be the TWF heavyweight fighter again. And like I say, I only am the overseer of greats, or folks that I believe were great. And I oversaw a lot of folks in my first run in WWF, WWE, and my 2-week run in WWE. But I believe Seth Rollins will do what none of them could do. And I believe we'll see Seth Rollins as a TWF heavyweight fighter again, sooner or later. And I'm going to say more sooner than later. Well, that's my talk with Seth Rollins, or Seth freaking Rollins, or Seth F. Rollins. You know. Back to you, Joey Styles and Jonathan Coachman. Well, thank you, Bob Walk, for talking with Seth Rollins and Paulie Dangerously here today on Impact or Hit. And that's all the time we got here for Impact or Hit. I, Joey Styles, with Jonathan Coachman and with Aiden English. We hope you like Impact or Hit. And we'll see you tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown.